And
okay, and
right.
we're live.
We're live.
We're live.
We're live.
Nobody knows we're here because we haven't been here in so long. We're going to be lonely and speaking into the void.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh, shit. Look at that. 3 people.
Oh, you know, I think it's a little slow. It's a little slow start, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's why I did the show by myself on last Monday. Because I figured I'd get everybody back into the habit. You know?
A slow introduction.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, but yeah, like a couple of years ago, Streamyard gave us like some kind of promotional deal for a year for like $99 or something like that. So you know, we kept it, and they just renewed mine again for like that same price. So it's like,
damn, every time I renew, I'm going up $50 a year.
Right. So it's like, well, I might as well keep it, you know. But yeah, but it's like and I think like on my next next draw stream, my Wednesday stream, I'm going to start streaming it from my account rather than from here, because like I said, on the last time I did it, like it was glitching out on me like crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy when I came in here this morning.
Yeah. And I had to like like
I got but a serious question. I'm sure everybody wants to know.
What?
When you stream by yourself, do you think about me? Good morning, everyone. It is November 17th, 2025, and this is the Ragin 2 the vlogs.
Oh my goodness, nothing's changed, huh? Nothing's changed.
Bitch, are you ready for this?
Absolutely not, but hit it.
Trigger warning, fuck you.
Then fuck you.
And by the way, yes, I do actually, because doing the vlogs is not the same without you.
You just press the buttons and it is on your mind.
It's not the same thing.
That's so hot.
Not the same. Oh my god, I think you're going to be even worse without being on camera, aren't you?
No one knows what I'm doing right now.
Oh my goodness. So who's joining us today?
I think there's people.
There's the peoples. Where are the
peoples? Your sissy's here. Hello.
Oh, good. Okay.
I'm gonna totally hit on your sister.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
She's hot.
What was it that you had called it on Facebook? I saw the post. It's called a flirtational ship.
A flirtationship.
A flirtationship.
Patent pending. Trademark, bitches. Actually, I stole it, so I can't. Well, actually, I could, because that tends to be what you do, right? You steal other people's ideas and trademark them.
Well, you know, hey, that. Welcome to the internet, I guess.
Hey, we got Joseph and Wolf
hello,
Daddy.
Joseph. Hello.
Hello.
Is the comment? Oh my god.
What? What? Say it, Lage.
So
there you are.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Hey, girl.
I was wondering, like I said, it's like the no,
bruh, this Cali weed is good shit. Oh my god.
My back end is glitching over here.
Oh no. Just because you thought about me too much.
Oh my god. This is well, at least we're back to normal. Florida. Oh my god. And yes, I see you, our beautiful eyeball people watching us from regions beyond. If you're joining us from Facebook, please come on over to YouTube, join the sexy people in the chat, keep them company. And while you're here, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever any of our shows go live. Oh my goodness! So hold on. Let me, like I said, it's like this whole.
What do you want done, and let me do it.
Right? No. I'm just looking for all the videos are.
Oh my God, that was like the most submissive shit I've ever said.
Well, hey.
Oh God, I'm gonna go take a shower.
Oh no. Oh my goodness. So, hello everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and you know what that means.
Get up, cocksuckers. It's all over. Listen, we had a rough couple of months.
What the hell we did?
Lord, what the hell is that?
I am the artist for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales and the creator of Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, a medieval fantasy drama you can read online at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. And if you have pledged to the previous campaign for issue 11, I am proud to announce that it is officially done. I just sent out the last 4 of the campaign rewards for that campaign. So issue 11 is over. It's done. Thank God. It's closed. And I hope everybody has been enjoying the issue when it came out. So, and if you're waiting for issue 12, which I'm currently working on, the link is in the chat for the pre-launch page. I don't know when I'm going to be launching it, which is even more of a reason for you to hit that notify me button so you get notified when the campaign goes live. And you can also check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And beside me is my co-host, ready to drop her latest album.
It does look like that,
Nita.
right? I almost look like I have some significance or importance and purpose in life. My name's Nita, and I market comic books. Yo,
there you go.
And there's a YouTube channel. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, whatever. I don't care. Just
right. Yeah, and it's like, and the reason why she's not on camera because. Well, her office is all discombobulated, so nothing.
I have half my office in my kitchen, half
Right.
my office in a closet, half my equipment is back there. I am currently using my gaming system to do this right now, which is
Right.
not set up because y'all don't need to be looking at my kitchen and judging me if I have some
Well,
dirty dishes in my
That's
sink
true.
or some shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, but I'm working on getting shit set up in here. Hopefully I'll get me a good green screen or like
Right.
flip this shit around some kind of way to where it's more functional because
Mhm.
I am tired of being in the closet.
Well, right. Yeah, I could imagine. Could imagine. Also, so how do you like streaming from the gaming computer as opposed to like what were you using before? Your laptop?
Wow, it's crystal clear. And when the camera is on, I was kind of impressed with the natural lighting.
Oh,
And
okay.
just like, yeah, because I have a window.
Uh-huh.
A window,
Oh,
Daphne,
go.
and an air duct. So
You
I
can
got
breathe.
central air and heat in here too. Like, oh.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So oh my goodness. So I know that like I said, I tried running this circus by myself, but like I said, it's not the same without you. So what you been up to aside from I don't know.
Oh no, I've been having a mental breakdown.
Okay,
So it's cool. It's cool. Your timing to leave was perfect because the shit I might have said on air or actually done during a live stream, whew, I got time to, process and balance out some more.
Right.
So yeah. So I shaved my head, like I'm bald now.
Yeah.
Let's see. I wrote some really erotic poetry that
Yes,
was
you
so
did. I know
dirty I can't even share it with
Oh, well,
you.
I saw one of them. You did send one of them to me.
Did I? Damn,
Yeah.
this weed is good. Like,
But you were on a roll. You were on a roll.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I just been spiraling the good spiral, but I'm good now.
Okay.
I'm good.
But yeah, it's like it's like I guess like everybody just needed to take a break for the medication to settle.
Oh, and they just increased it again, so it's
Right.
like, yay, there's that.
Okay, so there you go. So so it's like so the hair thing, right? Because I remember like the last time I think I left, you accidentally shaved one of your eyebrows off. But
Oh yeah,
this
that
one
did
was-
happen.
right, yeah.
That did happen.
But but this one was more deliberate though, right? Like you're kind of like
no. Okay, so like people are gonna really think, I admit that I did have a breakdown, but it was almost a spiritual thing.
okay.
I just wanted to strip it away and start over.
Oh, okay.
Like seriously, like I shaved my head because I needed something physical to help me rebirth myself because I was tired of wallowing in shit. It just felt like the thing to do.
Right.
So I went outside and I told the moon I was gonna go bald, and came back inside and I did it.
Right. Okay.
Told y'all nuts, right?
Right.
Yes,
Well,
completely.
I just stopped using social media myself, but hey.
I still got to get paid.
Well, that's
still
true.
got-
That's true.
Baby got to eat. Christmas
Well,
is
no,
coming.
no.
We got presents to buy.
No, I
There's-
mean it's like that's
There's no rest for the wicked.
right. No, absolutely. It's just that well, one, it's like, look, I just have to mention it because I'm so fucking distracted by it. I have this dry spot on my nose that's been bugging. It's not that it's not bugging me, but like I don't see it most of the time, but for some reason, whenever I'm on camera, it's right there. But like if I look in the mirror, it's like I don't see it at all. So it's like, but it's like this dry
That's
spot, and
crazy.
I have to keep it moist.
Oh God.
Moisturized so that like I'm not like you know how sometimes you just pick at stuff without thinking. I'm sure everybody wanted to hear that this morning.
Yeah, right.
But I've been putting some cream on it and it's been getting better, but Jesus, it's taking its time. So when I went to Florida, I made a decision that I was going to take all social media except for YouTube off my phone. And ever since I got
me.
Huh? No. I had
Yes, you
Messenger.
did.
No, I
Yep.
did not.
So she ignored me
No,
the whole time.
no, I did not.
It felt like it.
Yeah, well,
I'm dramatic though.
well,
I've been sensitive, Daphne.
well, yes, and I've been trying. Look, it's like I
I'm
also try to
fragile
give
and needy.
but also at the same time, I want to give you your space too, so you can go roll your ankle or something. What happened?
Oh my God, which I did do that too.
Right? It's like, what did you? So, and what I found, it's like I spoke about this on the previous show, but hey, what's with why not repeat it, right? And what I found is that how like I found that my not much my anxiety in general, but just like all the noise and the chatter, like kind of disappeared. And it's like voices that used to be really, really loud in my head. It's like now I barely hear them. And then like in exchange, like that went down. And then like my mental creativity went up at the same time. So it's like it switched places. And I spent that entire month just like using my notes app on my phone. And it's like, and just like trying to like, kind of like figure out how to fix like plot holes and little like details that I wanted to fix for the novel, the Eagle Raven novelization. And then I ended up writing an outline for an entirely new book, and it's just like, and I've been trying to keep that mental space since I got back by like kind of like I decided that it's like, I'm not going to go on like Facebook or any of that unless I actually need to post something.
Right.
But I decided that I'm going to like instead, focus on YouTube, which is why I did the stream by myself regardless. And I'm going to like focus on my mailing list. So I'm going to be like trying to use my mailing list the same way I was using Facebook, except now it's like, because in that way, I know that if you're on my mailing list, you're going to see my posts.
Right.
As opposed to if you're on Facebook, maybe you'll see my posts.
Maybe.
Right. And and it's like, and I just decided that it's like, you know what, I'm going to kind of like close in the wagons for what I'm doing, because just because you can post, well, in my case, because I know in your case that's literally your job, but in my case it's like, just because I can post to like all these different platforms doesn't mean that it's worth my time to do it.
Right.
So and then it's like just having to like fuss with algorithms and whether people are seeing anything, and and there just comes a point where it's like the quiet of not getting reactions
Right.
is too much. That it's like, because that was only adding to the anxiety, that it's like, I don't get it, it's like, why aren't people reacting, what am I doing wrong, and this, that, and the other thing. And after this whole thing of not having social media, I just realized it's like, oh, no, it's not me, it's the children that are wrong. It's the platforms that are wrong. It's like I'm in the wrong spaces. It's like, like I said, like Facebook is mostly just to like remind is mostly just like kind of like where my friends hang out, where our friends hang out, but even then it's like they don't see a lot of our posts either, but yeah, I want to put the priority in Facebook and my mailing list. And I also fixed up my my shop, my online store, so that it looks a little bit more like an online store. I'm very happy. It's like, because you go on my store and it's like, it has like a little scrolly thing that shows like all the products that are available, and it looks nice. And
that's egoworks.com.
Yeah, egoworks.com. You just hit the red button that says store, and you can buy all the available books that I have there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's like, it's nice and scrolling.
Yeah, you cleaned up.
Yeah,
girl, you
because
look
it's like
good.
I made the mistake of treating the store like a website instead of just treating it like a store.
Right.
It's like, so you go to the store and now that's just what it is. You can buy the stuff there, and I have like other categories that I still have to clean up and actually open up. Right now, only Tall Tales and Eagle Raven is available on the shop. I have some other categories there that I'm still working on. Yeah, so I just have to like take photos of stuff and put them up. So I just literally was just spending the month in the downtime that I wasn't packing, and once, especially when we got all the furniture out of the house, I was just like doing all these other things that the last time I was there, I was just spending the time like pretty much doom scrolling. Where it's like that I was just like completely rotting in bed, just scrolling Facebook and not even like remembering anything that I was watching. So I made it a point this time around. Also, it helped too that I got like because I don't know if you watched the previous show, that I got like a portable Wacom tablet that's kind of like it looks like an iPad.
Nice.
That's how big it is. And I've just been working nonstop on this thing. So I actually ended up further ahead on issue 12 than I thought I would be being away, because I kind of like didn't think that this tablet would work as well, and now I'm completely addicted to it because it's all touch screen. So I don't need to use a keyboard or anything. I could just treat it like a sketchbook. And I've just been getting work done. So
Progress.
yeah, progress. Because no, I'm not the shaving my head type.
I've started 15 fucking projects though.
Right.
Not
Oh,
one
well,
of them's done, but
right.
hey, I'm getting there. I'm
Right.
getting
No,
there.
right. Yeah. But at least you have the 15 piles.
I
At
do. I
least you
have
have
my
them
ADH
organized.
piles all over the house.
Right. And then you just have to just work through them.
Right.
It's
a process.
Right. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to check something. Let me see. Hold on. There was something. Hold on. There we go. Oh, there we go.
Oh, what?
Oh, I forgot to test this the last time, right? So now it's
Nice.
like they have the comments on the screen,
Nice.
or
And
but
we don't have to have the what's it called? The fucking studio OBS to do
well,
it. Nice.
sure. Yeah. Well, I still run OBS because I don't know, for some reason StreamYard still won't recognize my cameras by themselves unless I run it through OBS. So I don't know.
Ugh.
So
Whatever.
But the only thing that I don't like about that showing comments thing is that it doesn't allow me to adjust it. I could have sworn I was able to move it the last time, but then I wasn't able to move
Just
it.
put it in the corner. It's fine.
Just leave it. Just kind of like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's cool. Because then I don't have to worry about going back and forth.
Well, that's
Hey,
true.
Nick!
Oh, hey, Nicholas. Hello.
You missed the intro. You missed the best part.
Oh boy. Well, we'll try to repeat the best parts. Maybe. I don't know.
I'm a one-trick pony.
Well, so
That's bullshit. I got plenty of tricks.
Nah. But so I was spending a lot of time writing, right? And thinking. And that's kind of that's also the other thing that happened a lot, that it's like, okay, so it's like now that I don't have all these voices in my head, now it's like my brain can actually do useful things. So one of the things that had like just recently popped in my head, because now there's room for all these miscellaneous thoughts to just pop to the forefront, right? Is things that people repeat, with their whole chest, but it's obvious they never thought about what exactly they're repeating.
Oh boy.
Right. And it's kind of like like phrases like, oh, like Kickstarter only promotes not safe for work books, right? It's like, oh,
Right.
it's like they don't promote anybody, right? But if you actually pay attention, if you actually like critically look at that comment, it's not true. It's not that Kickstarter promotes those books. Their algorithm pushes forward projects that gets a lot of attention.
Right.
And and it's not safe for work books that gets attention. It's very particular creators of those types of books that get attention.
Hello, Melissa.
Oh, hello. So it's kind of like, and I was telling Jose, it's like, it's just kind of funny. Well, it's like the thing that bothers me about like things like that is that you hear people use them kind of like mantras. And it's
Right.
like, and then it's like kind of like, I think that it kind of like gets in the way of paying attention to what you're actually doing.
Yeah, it just becomes another woe is me.
Right. Because it's like, you're just saying, it's like, oh, well, Kickstarter only promotes not safe for work books. It's like, that's not true. But by saying that, you're already cutting yourself off to whatever solution you should be, you should be looking at, because it's like, it's kind of like, like it becomes a block, like or a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like, oh, my book doesn't
morning,
do
Michael.
well. Oh, good
Right.
morning. It's like, it's like my book doesn't do well on Kickstarter because Kickstarter promotes not safe for work. So there's nothing I can do about it. So that one has nothing to do with the other. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and then it's like, another one, another phrase. Although what's funny though is that this particular phrase has nothing to do with comics, but I've heard people say this in comics. And again, it's one of those things that they say uncritically. One of those big not safe for work books are by people who have spent years building their audience, so that's why their launches are huge, right?
Amen.
Like I said, it's very particular. It's basically masturbatory pity party for skill issues. Oops, who said that?
Yikes.
Who said that?
We'll never tell.
I mean, really, it's so that's so that's kind of the thing, that it's like, they're just saying that, like, I don't know, it's kind of like weird, right? That it's like I don't know, that it's like when women are not confident, we blame ourselves, but when men are not confident, they blame everybody else.
Not all men,
and even in their unconfidence, they are so hubrisly confident, because to be able to say something like, oh, I didn't succeed because Kickstarter only promotes not safe for work. And it's like, how are you saying that with your whole chest? Because that's not true, And another thing that gets said often, it's like, there was another example, but I'm not going to get into that because I'll end up in a completely separate tangent that I don't really want to get into. But the other comment that I've heard that I've heard over and over and over again, over and over and over again, is the audience doesn't care.
right?
Like, that's something that gets repeated very, like, in an uncomfortable amount of ways. Like, people,
It really does, because by saying the audience doesn't care, you're insulting the ones who have supported you.
Well, not only that, right? But it's like, I mean, what is that absolving you of? Right? When you say the audience doesn't care, what is it that you're really saying? That it doesn't matter if I give you minimum effort? I mean, and it's like, right, yeah, isn't it our job to make the audience care? Right? Because I was talking about trying to get Gemini to write marketing copy for me. Because if it's one thing that the AI is good at, is tedious textual, just tedious
Blurbs.
bullshit. Yeah, just tedious bullshit. That's what it's good at, and that's what I was trying to get it to do. Like, I was trying to get it to write some blurbs for me, but holy crap. I mean, not only is AI good at tedium, but it's incredibly corny. Like, it's
so
incredibly bad, in terms of, like, really trying to write this stuff. Like, if I just asked it to give me certain data points, right, it could do that.
Right.
Like, I had asked it, like what should I focus on? Like, how do I write copy, for Eagle Raven, but taking it from, I don't know, the emotional angle of the story, and I'm trying to cater to like people who read romantasy, but this isn't a romantasy, type of thing. Like, trying to like get, it's like, give me what the statistics say how I should do this, because in the end, that's what it's doing. It's doing statistical analysis, right? And it actually gave me some pretty good advice, that God knows where it scraped it from. But like I said, it's a statistical result that it's like, well, if you're trying to do this, this is what you should be doing. It's like, okay,
I can join.
It's like I can work with that, right?
Right.
But when I asked it to write me copy based on that data, holy shit. Oh my God. It's like it was writing me shit that nobody should be saying out loud. Like it's just like really super cringe shit. So it's really going to require me to really take those noodles of information and try to make an actual meal out of it.
Right.
I mean, it's awful, awful stuff, and don't choke on top of everything.
I'm good. I'm good.
So in the middle of this conversation, right? It's not that I'm not picking on HR. He just happened to mention this, right?
Right.
But I've heard other people say this, and I've seen other people act on this, where it's like he suggested, why don't I get the AI to animate stuff for me so I could use that for
please
for
do not.
And I told him that it's like, look, I'm not gonna say I wasn't tempted. I was seeing people do that, and it's like,
this is my biggest peeve right now. I am blocking artists I respect and follow loyally over that shit, because you are a fucking hypocrite if you're going to use that system.
No, absolutely.
If you think animation is not a real job, man, fuck, just walk off the fucking cliff, please. You are because just feeding bullshit.
Well, because the thing is, it's like, so because I had explained that it's like, look, I'm not going to say I wasn't tempted, right?
Right.
But I saw
who's not tempted.
I saw the mistakes.
Lazy.
I saw the mistakes that this AI animation was doing.
Right.
On the people who were using them. And it's like, I can't fix that.
No.
It's like, what's the point of me doing that if I cannot fix the animation? I would rather learn animation, do it by hand. I mean, technically I could do that anytime. I could do it by hand, and I can fix it where I need it. And the thing is, though, and even if I couldn't fix it, at least I did the work anyway. Up to a certain point, my skill level couldn't keep up. Right.
But here's the deal with that. Okay. Yeah. Aside from the fact that you wouldn't be qualified to complete it, to perfect it to what you think would need to be seen. As of right now, the main guys I see doing it are these like guys that are running around screaming how anti-AI they are, but they're turning around and feeding their own art into the machine. You're a fucking moron.
Right. Well,
sorry.
But
sorry,
also
bro.
Not only that, their skill level is too low to fix the mistakes the AI is spitting out.
Right. No, for sure. But also in the same time, not only are you not skilled enough to be using this fucking program, you're going on there and feeding your shit into the fucking void.
Right. Yeah.
Like, talk about fucking cutting off your own fucking nose. Like,
I mean, so it's like, so they're using AI, but their skill level is still down here, but the mistakes are up here.
Right.
So as far as I'm concerned, that's not a tool. Rob says it takes a lot of patience to be an animator. I started college for animation and quickly changed majors to graphic design. Yeah, no, it's not for the faint of heart. You know, even dabbling in animation takes time. You know, I mean, that's just what
It
it
is
is.
a
That's nature.
skill and a
Yeah,
real
it's a
job.
skill. Exactly. Exactly. You know, so in this conversation, right? So it's like, so HR says, yeah, but the audience is not going to care, right?
The
And
fuck we
like I said,
won't.
I'm not picking on him. I'm just, that was the
No,
conversation that we had. But this is
no, we
something that
love
I've heard,
HR.
other people have said, oh, the audience doesn't care. The audience doesn't care.
I beg to differ.
And honestly, at this point, I really do beg to differ, because if the audience really didn't care, how come we're not seeing AI all over the place?
And when we are, go into the comments.
I mean, right, exactly. It's like the reason why.
And I'm not talking
these
about the boomers who
companies,
think
yeah,
Obi-Wan Kenobi is Jesus. You know what I mean?
right, yeah. It's like it's like, the reason why these companies are trying to force this shit on us is because there is pushback. There's enough
right.
pushback from the average person to kind of keep it from going as mainstream as they want.
Right. And the coming generation hates it.
Right.
Oh, that's what I was about to bring up.
Right.
Coke commercial. They
Right.
did it.
They
did it again. My kids are like, fuck it. We don't want Coke anymore.
Right.
No more Coke products. It's like, I mean, like our
gin
little
and tonic for
protest
everybody, because we're not
right.
buying Pepsi.
Like, it's just like, I love the fact that they're growing up seeing this new shit and they fucking hate it too.
I mean, it's not a real tool. The way they're presenting it, it's not a real tool. Everyone says that, oh, AI is just a tool. No, it's not. Because you can't fix that shit. You're at the mercy of what the AI is spitting out to you. And unless you have the skill level to be able to fix it, it's not a tool. I mean, that's,
and if you've got that skill level, do it your damn self.
Right, exactly. And if you do, right, exactly. And that's usually what it is. If you have that skill level already, you're not using that trash.
Word.
So like I said, for me, Gemini, that type of stuff is only good for data aggregation. That's it. It's like, mind you, every time I use it, though, it asks me if I want to use, do you want me to create artwork? It's like, the fuck you are. Sit down, Gemini.
Sit your ass down.
No, you're going to do this boring marketing shit that I'm tired of trying to think about. I'm going to do the artwork, and in the beginning, I thought writing copy for me.
No, I thought that would be okay, but it sucks at that too. Like the amount of time you'd have to edit it.
Yeah.
Because you give it what it needs to create, to generate. I almost said create, to generate what it thinks I'm trying to say in the tone I'm trying to say it.
Right.
And let me tell you something. I ain't found an AI yet that thinks like I do.
Right,
because it's not what I have never been given something where I was like, I saw wow, how this is great. I'm gonna use this.
Right.
Never,
no,
not even
there's like blips, but I'm like going, I still have to massage it so much. It's like when you have to generate 70,000 takes to get one ass looking video, maybe this isn't a useful for it is. Yeah, that's true. It's like, how much extra work are you doing? That if you had gotten a professional team to CGI that shit, it would have been like a fraction of the cost and then in a fraction of the time.
Right.
But that's like the enshittification of everything, right? So and that's the thing, crap. Right? So because you can't, because what it is that, you can't, there's this belief that, and I've seen people do that where it's like they use the copy straight, the way the AI sets it up.
Oh my God.
And
it's
you
like,
oh,
so
honey.
tell.
It's like, yeah. And it's like, oh, so that's what's going on. Once I saw how Gemini was giving me information, I'm like going, oh, you cannot use this shit straight.
You can suck me right off.
I mean, you really have to rewrite and rewrite and rewrite for it to sound vaguely normal, because you're right. It's like what it's doing is that it's giving you a statistical analysis of what it thinks you want. It's trying to generate what it thinks you want based on statistics of what everybody else who has asked for similar things accepted, right?
And it will completely still make up shit, like throw shit in there that you like.
Absolutely.
It's like this
It's
is the biggest crock of shit.
I've caught it making up shit about what's in the story when I'm like, holy, where did you get that from? That's nowhere in the story. It's awful. It's awful. But yeah, so it's like, so the whole thing about, the audience doesn't care. And I go, well, look, even if that's true, which is not, I care. I care. I see AI. The Fae rules.
Yeah.
We all have to do the
face
rules.
coming.
Yeah. It's like, I care. What would the circle we're in would look like if people like Bernie Wrightson and Arthur Adams,
right?
if they all said, the audience doesn't care, I'm just going to half-ass this.
Right.
What would we have ended up with if they believed the audience, that they felt that the audience doesn't care was the metric they had to do everything against, that they had to follow, that's the metric you follow, not I care.
Right.
And and that kind of like, and that was kind of like, the thing, there was something that I remember someone had commented on that the advice that they were told is that never cater to the stupidest person in your audience.
Good morning, HR.
Hey, HR. If you watch this, it's like, look, I just want to say that I was just talking about our conversation on Wednesday. I'm not picking on you. I was just talking about our conversation and just reiterating it for Nita about the audience doesn't care. So that's, so it's like, so the thing that they were told is never cater to the stupidest person in your audience.
Right.
And that was also kind of, that also, was something that I also kind of like internalized, that it's like, not everybody in your audience is going to be equal, but you don't really, like, if there is somebody in your audience that doesn't care, whether you give 100% or 0% or 10% on your work, that's not the person you're working for.
I'm not talking to you anyway.
The people who always want to argue bad faith arguments, or something, it's like that's not the person we're doing this for, right? So it's the same thing with the whole like, well, the audience, the average person doesn't care,
right?
But which again, I actually kind of debate whether the audience, the average, whether the average person, does or doesn't care, because like in the end, who's the average audience? Who's the average audience member? Are you talking about the scale of the entire 350 million people in the United States, or you're talking about the median of your audience of 150 people on Kickstarter?
Right.
So, but it, like I said, it boils down to me going, well, I care whether my stuff looks good or not. Because if I don't care, then there's really no reason for my audience to care. And this is also another reason too, why the whole idea of like, AI is going to be the savior or whatever. And it's not, because even the creators that I see using AI, right? Unless they're doing very particular projects, they're not seeing a return. They're not seeing a return on investment.
No, in fact, it's backfiring. I've seen some of them falling away.
Right. Because it's like, because it's like, because people don't want to see you use that shit.
Nobody wants your garbage.
See your art. Right. And like I said, there's very few people who get away with AI projects on Kickstarter, and usually it's somebody with a name,
right?
Hartso, and
Everett,
you know,
and his whole family apparently they're
yeah,
all into it.
they're
It's a
all in
family
on that.
affair.
Yeah, because you know what it is? It's like they do these AI projects and then they option them to Hollywood. Like it seems to be that's their funnel.
Oh my God. It's disgusting though. It really is.
So, so they're, so people like them, right? There was an AI project that, I mean, honestly, I think for the
Wheelers,
effort,
they're starting to use some AI on their covers and shit too.
It's like,
go,
but yeah,
have fun, be you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, but
get out of my yard.
TNA shit. They're doing TNA shit, and it's like, and it's like, yeah, and those are the other books too, where it's like it's pretty much they're doing AI pornography. And it's like, okay, those are the people who are getting away with using AI.
Right.
What is that?
Hey, and if you want some real artists, real hand-drawn pornography, you can follow me and follow Ethereal Comics.
There you go. If you want actual artisanal hand-drawn porn.
Right.
It's
not just porn.
Yeah.
But my point is I swear to God, it's prettier. So much prettier. But anyway, I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Right. But the thing is though, it's like I said, it's like the people who are getting away, who seem to be getting away, they're just doing whatever, right? They're getting away with successful, and again, even that term is relative on Kickstarter. Like I said, they're doing very particular things with it. And honestly, is that the audience you want?
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's like there was that issue with Brian Pulido where he accidentally bought an AI cover.
Right.
And it's happened. Like, and he pulled the cover, but people were saying, like, oh, we would have bought it anyway.
And but he stood firm, and he said, and they wouldn't have, not as many,
but it's like, are those really the people you want? Because it's like, these are people who is just like, Lou says, I'm really sad at the AI use I've seen from people who I didn't expect to use it. And I agree, it's likely why they've failed on funding. I mean, yeah, it's because it's not the save all, right? No. That they think it is, and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that it's not a real tool, and it's just, but like I said, and the average audience member, the average person actually doesn't want this stuff. They don't want.
Well, no, but they spent so much money, they have to convince us that it's the majority. Well, but if we open our eyes, you can see it's not the
exactly.
majority.
Well, that's what these companies are doing. They're trying to like manufacture consensus.
The typical government stuff. It's just all about the government.
That it's like they're trying to give the illusion that it's more mainstream than it is when it's not, because like I said, if that's the case, we'd be seeing more successful AI projects on Kickstarter, which we don't. It's all the fur coats and no knickers thing. Yeah, it is. I love that phrase.
I love her.
And but it's like the whole thing about, the audience doesn't care. The audience cares. The audience cares a lot. Right. It's like the audience wants to see. They want to see.
No, never. We would never. That's exactly what's going on.
Well,
all right then, fine. I guess I'll turn my camera on.
No, right.
Wait. Oh no. Sexy wires.
So in the end, right? So what does these phrases that gets repeated without critical thought, like, what are they covering up? Oh, the audience doesn't care. Oh, Kickstarter only promotes not safe for work books. Oh, it's like, Blazing Saddles could never be made today. Another one, it's like comments like that,
Right.
That it's like, if you really think about them critically, it's like that's ridiculous, Tangent. Now that I've mentioned it, I have to explain the rationale.
Okay, let's go.
So, Blazing Saddles cannot be made today, right? That's the phrase that I'm sure all of us has heard at one at one form or another, right? That Blazing Saddles could never be remade today. Right. Isn't the whole point of Kickstarter is that people are going out of their way to care? Right. I mean, really, it's like you're buying directly from the artists. This is not Amazon. Kickstarter is not Amazon. Right? This is not somebody, these are not people, mindlessly scrolling and just poking around. It's like, if they're on Kickstarter, it's because they're looking for weird shit. They're either looking
I got one. When I first heard about Dave being trapped in a maze, I was like, well, at least he's not sucking a big veiny dick for Kickstarter money.
That's not how Kickstarter works.
That's exactly how Kickstarter works. But the thing is, though, is that Kickstarter, it's like Kickstarter is for people who are looking for odd stuff. It's like, even though sometimes it doesn't, right. It's like comics industry rage over a color change in a costume, but then they have the same, they have the same, they say the audience doesn't care. No, the audience does care. So my Blazing Saddles theory. So again, this is one of those phrases that I've heard a lot that people say like it's some kind of gotcha. And it's like, if you really think about it, it's not true. Right? Because
it wouldn't fly today, but yet it's in the recommended streaming list.
The funny thing is that you can do a complete remake of Blazing Saddles, and of course it would fly. Because in the end, what do you think is the part of Blazing Saddles? What is it that makes Blazing Saddles unfilmable today?
For them, for the people who are making that argument, it's the blackface.
What blackface?
Wait! Wrong movie. That was me and Chris were having a debate the other night. God damn!
What is it about Blazing Saddles?
Blazing Saddles
that cannot be remade today. Everybody says this phrase with their full chest. Now I want an actual answer.
I don't.
Mel Brooks, yes, the Mel Brooks Blazing Saddles. Well, people actually. Well, this actually brings what people are commenting on that. Okay, so Nicholas says they use the N-word.
Okay.
Get Quentin Tarantino on the phone. It's like that didn't stop Quentin Tarantino from making movies. So it can't be that.
Yeah, but that's what Mel Brooks is saying. It is like he's citing issues like political correctness. So, and if they were to do it, they'd need a fresh take on the material. It's but I see shit like this still all the time everywhere else. Just
right. Yeah. That's the thing that, but like, forget about, like I said, someone get Quentin on the phone. Like I said, that doesn't stop Quentin from making movies. So okay, so all right, so the thing right. So it's like, yeah, it's social commentary, but it's also dated in delivery, right? Why is it dated in delivery? Just like a lot of these types of comedies, the same types of comedies that Mel Brooks did, that Carl Reiner did, right? So we know it's not because it's a Western.
Right.
Again, Quentin Tarantino did two Westerns.
Oh, shit, Nick.
it's not the N-word because Quentin has no problem with that either, right? Is it the fart scene, the entire like fart bean scene?
No,
Because every children's TV show has has shit like that in it, right? So there is something to that. So the reason why that Blazing Saddles, that I feel, that Blazing Saddles couldn't be remade is not necessarily because of the content, but because of its sincerity and satire.
Mm.
When Mel Brooks, Carl Reiner, those two especially, but plenty of others too. And remember, they worked with Richard Pryor. They worked with a lot of, Black comedians. So it's not like a lot of this humor came out of the blue, right? They made their satire for you to know they're talking about you.
Right.
So if you're the type of person, so it's like, it's like there is no, there is no, what's that phrase? Plausible deniability in a Mel Brooks film. There was no plausible deniability in Archie Bunker, in any of the art, All in the Family. There was no plausible deniability. The whole point was to be so on the nose that there is that you can't say, well, I can't be that, because that was the point. They were pointing you out. It's like, the whole point of what Blazing Saddles was to point out how racist the genre was. With having, a Jewish guy play a Native American, with having white people play Mexicans, it's like, with the usage of the N-word, right? So it's the sincerity that can't be duplicated, because, you have movies, because now it's like you can have your satire, but you have to do it in a way where it's like, well, I'm not really talking about you, wink, wink, wink. It's kind of like the reason why people can watch Starship Troopers and take it at 100% face value, which is the definition of the failure of satire. That the problem with satire is that unless you are very specific that this is satire, people can take the work earnestly. There's a reason why alt-right people love American History X, but you don't see any of them singing Springtime for Hitler at rallies.
Oh, no. Fuck that. No.
Because Mel Brooks made sure you knew he was making fun of you. And that's the part that can't be duplicated. But that was a complete tangent.
I fucking love your tangents. I've missed your tangents.
Because I swear to God, the same people who say that.
Oh, it was Tropic Thunder. That's what we were fucking arguing about the other day. And it was
because it's like, I think what it is like, because that's supposed to be a dark satire, which is what, but for some reason that movie got taken very earnestly because people were like really, really offended by it. But it's like, that was kind of the fucking point. So, but like I said, with Mel Brooks, there is no missing the point. He's making fun of you for being like this. No, because it's like, look, because the people who say that you could do a scene by scene, line by line remake of Blazing Saddles, and the same people who say that it couldn't be remade would say that, oh, they made it woke and their only complaint is that they cast Taylor Swift as the Madeline Kahn character. Like everything else, like the dialogue would be the same, the scenes would be the same, the ending would be the same, everything. But it, but it would be different somehow. It would be like, oh, that this doesn't count. And it's like what Melissa said. It's like, why you can't remake because Gene Wilder is dead. Because Madeline Kahn is dead. It's like, the people who made the movie, it's like, oh, what was his name? I keep confusing him with Gene Hackman. It's not Gene Hackman. I forgot his name. The guy who played the land baron. I mean, Jesus Christ, the entire story of Blazing Saddles is about a corrupt land baron getting the help of an even more corrupt mayor to steal the land from townfolk. How would that story not resonate today? So that was my tangent. But going back to the audience doesn't care. But it's like, and boy, would they sure care if that movie did get remade. Would they sure ass care? So that's kind of again, it's like, so what is that phrase keeping you from doing? And that's where the whole thing, it's like, okay, your audience is not stupid, right? But when you say the audience doesn't care, that's kind of the implication.
You're calling them stupid, right?
And it's like, what is it that you're covering up? What shortcoming are you covering up with the phrase the audience doesn't care? Or the average person doesn't care? Because my next question is like, well, are you catering to the average person? Are you doing your book to the average person? Then what does it matter if they care or don't care?
Right.
And and that was kind of like, that went back to me, like, oh, why I spent all this time trying to kind of like plug up these plot holes, in the novelization that, like in the comic, right? The comic's done. Eagle Raven's done. The 16 issues are done. I'm just inking and coloring them. But there's certain things in this story that, that like looking back, like, oh, I could have done that better. Right? Short of trying to disassemble the comic and putting it back together, which there's no point in doing, right? It's like, well, the novelization is giving me the opportunity to fix these things. And there's, and it's like, and I read some of my notes on the show on last Monday, which everyone seemed to resonate with. So I guess I'm on the right track, but that's part of, but the thing is though, it's like everyone was having a reaction to it that it's like, yeah, it's like, I'm making them care. If supposedly, you could say it's like, oh, the audience doesn't care, but I do. But when I read those passages, with my notes, there weren't even actual passages. There were just notes of what I was trying to like massage into the story to fix up kind of like these little details that have been bugging me. And everyone seemed to like it. So obviously they do care. Would they have noticed if I didn't have this stuff in the novel? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe no one's really looking at my work that deeply. It's like, oh, well, why did this happen? Why did they make that decision or this, that, and the other thing? But like I said, I care.
Right.
And when I'm sitting in bed rotting because I'm not on social media, but I have to do, but I have to do, something, right? So I might as well think. I'm like going, well, I care enough that I want to fix these things to make a better story for my audience. And also, it's like I'm not worried about the comics so much because the novelization is like it's a different part of the experience. So, so like I said, it just gives me an opportunity to kind of like, to fix certain things. But it's because I care about the work that I feel it's worth it to do this, even if I'm the only one that notices it. But judging from the reaction from last week, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that.
No.
So then it kind of hit me. Then another conversation had popped up in my periphery where people were talking about the trend. Like another phrase that gets passed around that nobody. Thank you. And mind you, I was just reading my notes. So, again, but this is like another phrase that's being bandied about that I don't think people are really critically thinking about. And it's the phrase this is more traditional publishing. Nobody edits books anymore.
Huh.
Nobody's editing books. And this is especially something that's targeted towards Nicholas says, if you care, we will care because sincerity and authenticity resonate. Right. They may not notice if it's missing, but will appreciate it if it's there. Right. Exactly. So this is an accusation that that's been lobbed at romantasy books and no one's editing the books.
Well,
like it's like the publishing is now kind of like doing the equivalent of fast fashion with a lot of these books where it's like they just want to crank out books as quickly as possible, and it's mostly to sell deluxe editions. Like they don't care if people read the insides, they just want to pay people to pay premium for sprayed edges or shit. It's like, I don't know. And like I said, this accusation gets thrown around a lot. And it's like, is that what's really happening? And there was this video kind of like going over like a recent traditionally published book that they had read and what they felt were the not editing that was happening in the book. And we're talking about like, duplicate, like too many like sentences that just run on and words that are not being used correctly, really clunky dialogue, things that could have been, a lot of misspellings, grammar mistakes. And and the thing is, though, it's like the stuff that she was commenting about, like, honestly, in all the books that I've read, it's actually pretty rare that I've come across those types of mistakes. And even then, when there were certain books that had like grammar mistakes in it, and it's like, what? It's like, I know what you're trying to say. The book is entertaining enough. I can overlook it. Right? So that's kind of like how I looked at it. The issue that I have with the so-called lack of editing in traditional publishing is the fact that 100% of the romantasy books that I have read so far, none of them needed to be 3 volumes. Not a one of them. And my issue with the so-called lack of editing is that the editors allowed stories that didn't need to be that long. And what happened is that these stories got so stretched out that I could barely finish the first volumes, much less even think of reading all 3. And I think that that's kind of like a different conversation that I don't see people really having in that sphere, because everyone's harping about, oh, too many typos and this, that, and the other thing. But nobody was talking about, the reason you have repetitive phrases in a story is because they're stretching out a story that should be one book into 3. So it's being padded out. It's like, it's like these stories are way too long for what the story can structurally support.
Right.
And
these bitches ain't writing Lord of the Rings.
Right. And even then, Lord of the Rings, you put the 3 books together and they're not even the size of volume 1 of one of these books.
Right.
I mean, and the thing is though, so there was this, why are they all, right? Exactly. It's not that deep. Oh, honey, what story are you saying? It's not that deep. And you see, and that's the thing, right? Because someone tried to explain in the comments that it's because they want the thicker books because it looks like you're getting better value for your money, and that people want to read world building, they want to read more lore, they want to read like more epic, something more epic than you see. But the problem is that none of these books are any of those. They're not epic, the world building is shoddy, and the lore is non-existent. So what you're really doing is that you're just paying for words. You're just paying for superfluous words.
Right.
Because it's like, because it's like, more words doesn't mean a better story. And it certainly doesn't mean better world building. Because these books, most of the time, they're like the thinnest veil of world building. Just enough for them to go, here is a cardboard cutout background of whatever medieval European city you want to pretend.
But I'm going to describe that half dragon's dick with every detail.
Well, those are the smut books.
We're doing
those are the other books. Those are the other books.
Okay,
right.
Just in general,
romantasy is definitely a different genre. So it's like
it's all the same to me.
So it's like, bring up Nicholas's thing. More pages is more room for fantasy, morally gray shadow daddy smut. Right? Yeah, and the thing is though, and it's honestly, it's the dumbest shit. Honestly, it's the dumbest shit. Because like I said, it's like everything, like all the excess verbiage is just padding out a story with like the thinnest of veneers of anything.
Right.
That it's like, yeah, they have this checklist of tropes that they need to put in, but it's like their story is so thin on the ground. It's like, it's infuriating. That it's like, you could have just done this in one book.
For sure.
No, I am not going to read your second volume, much less your third volume. But if they had done everything in one book, if an editor really came in and going, oh, this is too much, you got, it's like, what is it that Bilbo said? It's like, I feel like too much, too little butter spread on too much bread.
Yes, sir.
Right. And that's what these shits read like. I mean, it's like more words does not mean better world building. Right. But conversely, right. So speaking of smut, so I had gotten a ticket to Monsterotica for next year. Right. So I figured I really need to get through the books that I got this last Monsterotica. Right. So the first one out of my pile that I read was Agnar's Teacher by Jennifer Wood, and this is orc smut. That's pretty much all it is. It doesn't try to be anything else, right?
Weapon on Warcraft.
And it's like so it's this teacher who finds herself kidnapped by aliens, and she gets dumped on a planet of orcs. And she's, in this orc tribe, and it turns out that, she's resonated as Ice Planet Barbarians, that she's the fated mate of one of the orcs there. And hilarity ensues. Because on top of it, it's like she has severe anxiety. so it's just like really funny, because it's like the last thing she is a strong female character. It's actually kind of refreshing to read. But yeah, it's orc smut. Doesn't pretend to be anything else other than that. Right. And look at how thin this is. I read this in 2 days. It's fine. It scratched the itch. So, but the thing is, like, a romantasy book would be like 3 times the amount, would be 3 times the page count, with, like I said, so superficial everything, it's not even funny. Right? At least this doesn't pretend to be anything else other than orc smut.
Yes.
So to kind of, as a chaser, right? I have this thing of following up these books with a horror novel. I guess something that's like the complete opposite of what I'm reading.
You have to cleanse your palate.
Right. So the book that I ended up picking up, which in the end, I never want to say TikTok book recommendations are shit, because that's not true either. That's also another thing that people say. TikTok recommend, you can't trust them. That's not true. It depends on what you're into.
My favorite chapstick. TikTok.
I've picked up enough good books from TikTok recommendations, and this was one of them. And it's a horror novel called The Salt Grows Heavy by Alexandria Call. And look at how thin this book is. This is an absolutely gorgeous book to read. It's the story about a mermaid and her plague doctor companion, who end up trapped in a village of undead children and the 3 surgeons that control them.
Oh, shit.
And it's a retelling of the Little Mermaid story, but different. The prose is absolutely poetic. Right. And the funny thing is that it is incredibly romantic without it being overt, like the way like romantasy and the smut books are. It's like the prose is very limited, but it's hefty, if that makes any sense. This is like the opposite of what those 1,000-page romantasy books do, where it's like they're just padding out, the story with whatever excess verbiage they can cram into it. This book, the usage of words is so judicious that nothing is wasted. Absolutely nothing is wasted. And the funny thing about it is that there's no real world building in this. You're just literally plopped into the middle of the story and you just run with it. So just, honestly, I just think in general, once you reach a certain length, you probably should consider editing, no matter what you're writing. editing it down. I mean, really, like now here's the thing though. So my point is that this woman is writing a story that has me in a vice for like a fraction of the size of the romantasy books that's 3 volumes, and I have to force myself to get through the first one. So, so the point of editing, right, is you don't want to strip away, your heart out of a book. You're writing a book, you're writing a comic. It's kind of like the same thing when we see people say, when we hear people say, it's like, oh, my comic is like 83 issues, it's 112 issues. And it's like, all I can think of, it's like, bitch, it's not that serious. There is no fucking way that I believe that your story can sustain 10 issues, much less 112, Oh, it must be spectacular on Audible, because whoever's reading this, so if you can get this on an audiobook, oh, that must sound incredible, because it reads incredible. So, and Lorraine, I think you would like it. So yeah, everybody wants to be One Piece without understanding the weight of it, right? Yeah, it's like they focus on the superficiality of the story without understanding. It's like kind of like the romanticities. They want to do a romantasy of Lord of the Rings, but not understanding what made Lord of the Rings great. What makes what makes the things that you're inspired by great. And then it's like, oh, well, I'm just taking these superficial snippets, and if I just stretch it, it'll make it better. It's like, no, actually, it's the opposite. Because that was the thing that I was having an issue with. Well, it was one of the rules that I had when I started writing the novelization for Eagle Raven, that it's like each issue was going to be a chapter. So there's 16 chapters to this novel, right? But even with all the extra scenes, I do not want this entire story to be more than one book. There is no volume 2. It's just you read the one book and you get the entire story. And and the thing is though, and it's like, and my word count so far is already in the 6 figures, but I'm not worried about having to cut out important stuff, because every time I reread my stuff, I can tell right away there's plenty of ways that I can edit the story. I can edit my prose without editing the story. So, like, really, it's like, why use 3 sentences when I can use 1? Right now, of course, you don't want to truncate everything so that it's like you're reading an essay. That's not what we're looking for, but you don't want to bore your reader with putting too many notes. That joke from Amadeus, that was too many notes. But again, I think the point of that scene was that the Emperor of Austria was not the right audience. So if you find that your book is going past a certain point, I would really rethink how you can get it tighter without sacrificing the voice and the heart of your book.
Right.
And the heart of your characters and the heart of the story. You don't want to cut out the heart, but at the same time, you don't want to stretch that shit out either, so that your blood pressure is non-existent. It's like, and the thing is, and I really do think your audience will appreciate the effort that you put into doing that, because more is not better. It's of course, it's very contextual, but it's like, it's like, so yeah, your audience cares. And if you really work to give them something that you care about as well, that you care enough to work on it, to massage it, to give your audience the best part of you, essentially, that they will will recognize that they will recognize, the right people will recognize the work that you're putting in, without you having to take like these so-called shortcuts, which are not shortcuts at all, because you think that that's going to give you a leverage that doesn't exist. And I think that that's kind of the thing a lot of these people jumping into AI think that they're getting. That's like, oh, this is going to give me a leverage. But a leverage, you've never had that leverage. If you need AI, you never had that leverage. That's the thing, I mean, if nobody's interested in your stuff without the AI, running your shit through an AI generator,
it's not going to make that. It's not going to change that.
It's not going to change that. And people tend to forget the one phrase that I haven't heard in a while, but since the advent of computers has been an absolute truth. Garbage in, garbage out.
Whoa.
That's, and honestly, that's the real thing you're working with. What you put in is what you get out. So if you're treating your work as something that needs to be churned in a meat grinder, people are going to treat it as that. That this is just gristle, that they're just going to like, oh yeah, cool. All right, there it is. No, I don't want people to do that. I want people to go, oh, what is this? What is this? What is this? And I want them to see the effort, that's put in. That's what people, they see. That's where the value is, in the effort. Yeah, you see, you Procreate Dreams, right? It's like, look, Clip Studio does animation. You could do animation in, in Photoshop. You could do animation on, like there's nothing stopping you from just doing something on your own. It's like, because also the thing is too, is that the satisfaction is in the doing it, is in figuring out, it's like, oh, if I animate it this way, if I put this here, it animates different than if I put this here. It's like, the satisfaction, the satisfaction is me doing a dance sequence in issue 13 and then realizing I accidentally did an animated sequence that Mike Jimmy was nice enough to polish up more for me, So, that's the satisfaction. What fun would I have had with that if I just dumped it into an AI? That's not even the point. And then to see all the mistakes, and then like be, eating my hands because I can't fix the mistakes. And nah.
Hello, Glenn.
Hello, hey, Glenn. So yeah, so that's so that was kind of like, so the audience cares. They really do. They really do. And I think that if you find yourself saying the average person doesn't care, I think everybody needs to sit with that and go, well, is that the person you're doing your work for? Is that the person that you're creating for? The average person that doesn't care. If they don't care, then you don't have to worry about them. So what does it matter whether they don't care? They have nothing to do with you. So, put in the effort that you should be putting in your work. That person doesn't matter. The person that doesn't care doesn't matter. So they shouldn't even be part of your process. So I don't know. That's what I got today. Oh my goodness. So any any thoughts, Nita? Any thoughts?
No. I'm good. I'm just sitting here chilling and vibing with you because you say things so nicely.
I try.
Because I'd be like, look, if you're using that fucking garbage, get the fuck off my page. Please unfollow me. Do me a favor. Just go. Goodbye.
Look,
I'm tired.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's very frustrating. It's because, like I said, it's like even just using it for, like I said, algorithmic data. There's still so much work I need to do to finesse anything useful out of it that it's like it's okay. It's okay. So it's like, positive rage bait, Nita.
Nice.
That's what we try to make here. Positive rage bait.
No,
we love you,
Daphne.
goddammit. We care. We care, goddammit. We love all our friends and we care.
Except one of you, but that's okay.
Right. Oh my goodness. So any final thoughts?
Dude, my last final thought was like 2 hits of my joint ago.
Oh, okay.
I'm good.
Right. Okay.
I'm good.
That's good.
Okay. An hour and 30 minutes is my limit right now.
Right. Yeah, no, that's my limit too. So so thank you everybody for joining us in the chat and keeping us company.
Yeah, you guys are amazing. Thank you all for showing up after our extended hiatus.
Yeah.
Which we're going to do to you again very soon.
Well, hey, I mean, I'm going to try to kind of try to keep a pattern up, but yeah. And yes, and thank you so much to our beautiful eyeball people listening to us in the background from regions beyond. Thank you so much. I hope you got a lot of work done. Listening to me yammer, but at least now everybody has book recommendations. So yeah, I recommend the 2 books that I spoke about. So it just depends on what you're into. So yeah, that's it for us. So thank you so much again for joining us. Thank you, HR. With his sign off.
Oh, Melissa.
Yeah, there you go. So if you want to learn more about me, my art, and everything else going on, my upcoming campaigns, all that fun stuff, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com. That's EGOWORKS. Hold on, let's shut off that comment so everybody can see.
I don't even know how to operate that.
There it's all the all the buttons are everywhere. It's EGOWORKS, where you can read Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn for free. Also, remember that the launch page for issue 12 is in the chat and in the show notes. Is it in the show notes? Well, it
will be.
It will be. It's in the chat, definitely. So issue 12, like I said, I'm currently working on it. I don't know when I'm going to finish it, but you will get, if you click on the launch page, click on notify me, you will get notified when the campaign goes live so you don't miss anything. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales. That's TAILSonline.com. And you could read the entire archive so far of over like 1,000 pages worth of furry adventure stuff. Keep you busy. You could read the entire archive so far over there. And also on the news side, you could take this card down.
I can't. Okay, there we go.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
And don't forget to sign up for my newsletter, where you can keep up to date with all of my new art, my new sketchbooks, comics, and Kickstarters. And just scan the QR code, and you can get free PDFs of Eagle Raven, of Tall Tales, of the Oswald Chronicles for free, just for signing up. Like I said, I'm going to be using my newsletter a little bit more like I used to use my Facebook. So if you really want to see what I'm up to, you can join my mailing list, and probably like once or twice a month, you will get an update on everything that I'm working on. So scan the QR code. That was neat. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us again. I will be back on Wednesday with another draw stream. Because the next 2 weeks is going to be a little busy, so I can't exactly do my alternate Wednesdays. So I figure I'll do another one this Wednesday, and you can join me there. It's kind of like looking over my shoulder at a convention while I'm working, but you don't have to worry about blocking my table. So new time, it is now at from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, instead of like 4 to 6. I needed to change the schedule, so it's a little early, but hopefully I can still keep everybody entertained, in those final couple of hours after lunch instead of like hitting you guys after work. So that's it for us. That's it for Nita. That's it for me. That's it for all of you. Thank you so much. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.